What's up, you sexy buffaloes? It's your boy LJ here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to take the time to break down and analyze different variations of the lead hook. So many controversies about what you should be doing with the front foot, and I feel like I want to give my opinion on this. Naturally, you guys can do so too, so feel free to comment below before we start the first one. In this variation, we're looking at keeping both your heels planted, only rotating from the hips and shoulders. This will allow rotational torque from the hips to generate a lot more power towards that lead hand. This style is best suited for the heavy hitters who don't really focus on the fancy footwork and they rely on their raw power and commitment to finish off their opponent with one blow. The cons, in my opinion, is that if they miss the mark and they overcommit, they'll lose their balance and pay for it dearly if they miss their shot. In this variation, we're keeping your back heel as a leverage point and your front foot is planted. 70% goes onto the front foot and 30% goes onto the back foot as you pull your opposite shoulder back to finish off your lead hook. For me personally, this is one of my favorite variations as you get to double up your power shots and set out amazing traps, especially when you have the mobility to go into awkward positions to sneak in a sneaky shot. In this variation, we're getting leverage from the front foot, meaning that you're starting your weight on the front foot and shifting all the way onto the back foot as you release that lead hook. Personally, this is not one of my styles that I can master. It's not my all-time favorite, but as I've seen, if you use it correctly and this is your style, you get a lot of devastating power behind that lead hand. In this variation, the check hook is one of the slickest hooks in my opinion, pushing off from the back foot and step pivoting from the front and moving your head out of the line of danger. This move requires a lot of coordination, a lot of rhythm, and timing to execute. Slick outside boxers use this to counteract a lot of pressure fighters, and if timed properly and executed well, boy, you get extra tough style points. For those of you that's executed this know exactly what I'm talking about. One of my favorite hooks in the game. In this variation of the lead hook, the gazelle punch is explosive, powerful, and tricky to understand, especially if this is your first time trying to understand the mechanics. The three things I would focus on is the most obvious is understanding that you must have the strength and conditioning in your legs to go from 0 to 100. The second is understanding level change in order to disguise your punch and lure your opponent into the trap. And thirdly is the weight shift, pushing off from the back foot and simultaneously pushing off from the front foot to finish off your opponent. You'll be catching bodies left, right, and center once you've mastered this. In this variation, the pendulum lead hook Soviet style requires a lot of rhythm, a lot of stamina to maintain a lot of explosive and rhythmic pace throughout the whole entire match. The pros for me is that you get to switch gears whenever you want and you get to go in and out between your opponents whenever you please to catch them off guard. The cons is that if you don't have the right stamina or the conditions to keep that pace up, you will fall short and this will become the biggest double-edged sword that you will ever experience in a whole boxing match. And this variation of the lead hook is another one of my favorites as it's very unconventional, performed by Triple G, which is the overhand lead hook. Feet are planted, but the most important thing for me here is the mobility that I need to have for my shoulders to make sure I go for that overhand left. Also, making your opponents believe that they're safe in their high guarded position is what allows them to throw them off rhythm and create more openings to finish them off. And that to me is the definition of no one is safe. So going back to the subject, whether you should pivot on the lead foot or not, to be honest, it depends. Depends on your style, it depends on the intent that you put behind your punches. And I would love to make another video to break down another opinion that I have when you should use the lead foot and when you shouldn't use the lead foot. So before I go in, like, comment and subscribe if you want to see more of these breakdown videos, and I hope you found this helpful.